Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Hey, listen, go ahead and do me a favor as you're coming on in, if you will, tag and share this with another man or some friends. Help get the word out. We've got a great discussion this evening with some really awesome professionals, men of God, men of faith, men of business, men of integrity, fathers, single men who are successful. And so we're really excited just about this time to share with these great men. And so do me a favor as you are coming in. Let us know that you're on, and share on your page. Help get the word out there tonight. It's going to be really good. A great discussion. So I see we got Norman in here tonight. Good evening, man. I see we've got Byron Mincy. Right? We're excited about it. So we're going to get ready and get going here. We're going to introduce these panelists that are with us tonight. Man, you are sure to be blessed. So one of the things that we have coming up is our men's conference next Saturday. And it is the D3 men's conference. And the theme is actually overcoming. And I know that every person can really, get some wisdom from that, how to overcome some of the challenges that we all face in life. But the truth of the matter is that you can overcome anything that you put your mind to and that you put your faith to. And so we're really excited to just kind of talk a little bit about overcoming in those various areas of struggles that men deal with. So tonight I want to introduce our panelists. We've got with us tonight Let's see. There we go. Here we go. All right. You guys can certainly unmute your mic. And tonight, we've got Elder Derek Richburg with us from Unity Christian Center, who is one of our men's conference hosts. So, Derek, say hello to everybody.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Really appreciate y'all coming in and taking some time out and seeing what we got to offer for the men's conference. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good conference, and I'm excited about having you guys here.
Awesome, man. Awesome. We're excited to have you on tonight. We've also got, man, a dear friend from my high school, man. This was a champ, man. And this guy is still a champ. He's doing a great work here in the city of Alabaster. And he's a firefighter here, man. And he is just climbing the ranks, man, and just making a difference in the lives of so many people. And we're really, really thankful to have my friend and brother, Jamada Green, with us tonight. Say hello, Jamada.
How's everyone doing? Glad to be a part of this men's conference. Look forward to just growing, iron sharpening iron, learning, sharing a few nuggets, taking in. Let's get it. Let's get it, fellas.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it. I've got another friend here, man, that I'm so excited. It's been way too long, but it's good to see him again. Man, business guru, entrepreneur. Man, this man is blessed. He is doing it big, and just excited for what he has to share and add to this discussion and to this community. Gilberto Herrera, marketing and AI expert. So say hello, Gilberto.
Hello, what's up, everyone? Bishop, I'm happy to be here, man. Like you said, it's been far too long. You know, Unity Christian Center is extended family to me. So amongst
100%,
the business stuff is just something that fell on my lap. But the community work and the things that we do together, that's what I'm passionate about. Forget the business. Business doesn't matter if we don't create a community of strong people, and we can't do that without strong men. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So glad to have you, bro. We've got another brother, man, that is near and dear to our heart. Definitely a part of UCC Nation. We just love this guy. Awesome guy doing a great work in the city of Birmingham and abroad, impacting the communities, just as our brother just said. Mr. Daryl Forte.
What's going on, Bishop? How you doing today?
What's up, man? So glad to have you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate being on such honorable and great men. I'm excited for the conference and excited for this opportunity. So let's get it.
Awesome. Elder Derek, you want to talk a little bit about what we got coming up?
All right. So, so the men's conference is going to kick off on Saturday, June 22nd. June 22nd at 10 a.m. That'll be, we'll open up with a panel discussion. We also have some opportunity for our teenagers, ages 13 to 18. We have something for them as well. So if you got teenage boys that you that you want to be involved in this men's conference, please by all means bring them out. It's going to be good. We got a special word for them, a special discussion just for them, geared just towards them. But we're going to open up at 10 a.m. and we're going to open up with a panel discussion with these great men right here that's on this live stream, and then we'll talk about different topics, and then we'll also get some questions from the floor. We got some powerful testimonies that we got coming up from some guys who've overcome things like addictions, and we got some guys that who the enemy tried to take them out, who had near-death experiences, and they're going to be on talking about their how God enabled them to overcome. So it's going to be great. It's going to be very informational. It's going to be very transformational. And then we'll, after the panel discussion, we'll move out into we'll have some food and some fun out on the yard, some competition, some friendly competition, but competition nonetheless. You know, us guys, man, we like to compete.
Right.
So we'll have,
some
competition. We'll have some competition and some food out on the yard. Just having a good time, getting to know each other, networking, and really building those bonds that men need. Men need bonds. Men need other men that we can lean on. That no man is an island.
Yeah.
And what we're building now is, to take that island mentality out of our men and understand that we're stronger and we're better together. And then we'll cap it off that Sunday. Bishop has got a great word for us that Sunday at our 9:15 a.m. service and our 11 o'clock service. And then we're gonna go higher in God on that Sunday. So it's gonna be great.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see everybody in the place. UCC.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, cool. Well, so we've gathered to with a purpose and really to empower. We believe that every man is uniquely designed and strategically placed to make a difference in the world. And so we're going to dive right into it tonight. We've got a few questions. Elder Derek, do you want to lead with any of these, or you want me to take it, or how you want to do it, man?
You can go ahead and lead with them.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's talk a little bit about just being that man. What does it mean to be a man to you guys? I think that's the big question. We got ladies out here writing magazines and putting out books and material on how to be a man. I'm confused. I don't know how a female gonna be able to tell a man how to be a man. So, I mean, to you, what does manhood mean? And anybody can start us off. Take it and take that.
I guess I could start off. I'm with you, Bishop. So, to me, what it means to be a man is, when you think of a man and we go back to our roots, we're simple. We're here. We were designed to bear the pressures of the world, right? So we're the providers, we're the protectors, and we are the overseers of the community. We are the ones that set the tone, direction, and the discipline as to where we're gonna go moving forward.
Yeah.
We're simple by nature. We've just been stripped of that role because the more we complicate society, the more it's in someone else's benefit to empower our women to be stronger. Because if they feel like they don't need us, then the less use we have. Wow,
that's so good, man. That's so good. Wow. Anyone else want to add to that?
Well, I think I could definitely agree with him on that. I think a big problem with society as well is women just being in a single parent home, men not stepping up to the plate. Some of our fellows, we have to just reach out and get them back involved with the kids. They think that even if the relationship doesn't work out, I think it's one of those things they feel like if they support a child financially, that's all it takes. When it really takes for us to continue to be men, be the men that when we lay down with them to make the babies and have these children, to continue to do our part in them. So, I think that, that's one of the reasons that women feel like they can do it all by themselves, because they're receiving the financial end from the man, they feel like they're doing everything else themselves anyway. So we have to step up and do our part in all we do.
Yeah. I like what you brothers are saying, just being that leader, and being that one who guides and gives vision and direction. Right. I think Gilberto talked about, providing and protecting, in that community. And I hear you saying how it just seems like that women have now had to step into that role to a degree, and it's painted this false narrative. How do you guys feel like that affects our sons or young men coming up now? And what do you think maybe are some things that we can do to help to change this narrative of where now, even on Father's Day, I had to stand before my church. Listen, transparent moment. I had to stand before the church one Father's Day. Listen, I'm probably going to do it this Father's Day. I said, listen, stop telling mama happy Father's Day. Like, that's toxic. No, find a man and say happy Father's Day. We're not telling mom happy Father's Day. We tell her happy Mother's Day. Right. Yeah. And we're thankful for the single moms and those queens who have stepped up, man, and led our homes. And man, eternally grateful for that. I had a strong woman who raised me and launched me, into not only life, ministry, but profession. So I'm so thankful for that. But at the same time, I think that we emasculate men. we take away that manhood when we say things like that. And you really only see that in the African American community.
That's true.
So what do you guys think that we could do to maybe rewrite these narratives?
I think that's good, Bishop. I think rewriting narratives is so important. Mentor kids on a daily, weekly basis, and the narratives that we see for Black men is so limited. Of course, you have the athlete, rapper, etc. And brothers think that the narrative is one piece or one-sided, and we put all our eggs in one basket on these pipe dreams that are not really producing control by us. Our narratives are not producing control by us, and hence we see that in the media, and our young men begin to start believing it. So we as men, individually in our communities, have to step up and show that it's okay to be emotional, it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to be a godly man and to go to church and to be submitted under a man to God. It's okay to be inside your communities and doing the right things. It's okay to be married and settle down with one woman. You ain't got to be out there with everybody. Control our narratives and show our young men what the real aspects of life are, because the rappers and the athletes are a small percentage of the ultimate community and culture that we have out here, particularly our communities of color and our young Black boys and our young Black men as well. So we got to control our narratives and support and mentor.
That's so good. That is so good, man. I'm so glad that you point that out, because that's a lot of what we see is everybody aspiring to align themselves with that same narrative of I've got to be a rapper. I gotta, be just like what culture is painting before us, as opposed to me going against the narrative and writing my own story. Anybody else want to add to that?
I definitely think that men have to control the narrative. Men have to control the culture. Culture is driven by men, and as long as we're not in the place that we're supposed to be leading off and championing our position in the community, and mainly in our families. So the community starts with the family. And when the family structure is tight, when the family structure is well knitted and well put together, then we'll see communities start to change. But we definitely have to step up, man, and really get back into our families, get back into being present. I know a lot of men struggle with provision, and a man will be okay with as long as the bank account looks good, as long as we got nice cars in the driveway, as long as we got a nice house to live in. But man, there's so much more to being present in our families' lives and what we can provide materially for our family. Our family needs us to be present. Our voice needs to be heard within our households, and when our voice is heard within our households, it builds structure in our young boys. And that way, when they go out into their schoolrooms, into hanging out with their friends, and they're representing and they're building our community well because of what's been done inside the home. So we definitely got to take back our homes.
That's right.
Yeah, that's so good. Anybody else want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, but it's by design. So, like you said, you notice you don't hear any other communities having these issues. So, if you think back to when we were freed and we started really becoming wealthy and we were really united, we had more with less. We had our own communities, we had our own everything. And the system said, hey, we don't want them to thrive. So what they started doing is they started separating us from our women. They did the same thing in slavery, but now it's systematic. So they started introducing, it started with President Lyndon B. Tate. If you look back to when he said those Black people think they're better than everybody, I have them voting Democrat for at least another 100 years. And then they started introducing systematic ways to incentivize the women, but the men had to be outside of the household. So it's been going on for a long time. And what we're seeing now is the effects of, 50 years plus of this. And, if you look at it, it's tough to really control the narrative unless the man is in control of all the resources. So the best thing that we can do is become the best versions of ourselves. And that's the only thing that women follow. I learned that late in life because I come from a single family. I come from a single mother, a single mom household. So, the journey of finding yourself as a young man was tough, you know.
Yeah.
So if we can shorten that cycle in our young men, I think we'll have a better future. I think it's tough to change it in our generation, but hopefully the next generation will get it right if we step up and just instill those things in those young men.
Yeah.
That's so good, man. What are some ways men can find purpose and fulfillment, in their lives, despite these societal pressures or systemic things that have been passed down? As you guys are introducing to this conversation, what are some ways that they can find purpose, a young man, and fulfillment in their lives?
I mean, so let me take this one and then I'll let somebody else go. I mean, is it really purpose? Because we live in a capitalistic society, right? So we say money is not everything, but it's the only thing that we can measure in today's day and age, right? Back in the day, you were a man where you can go hunt, provide, and bring the resources back and build a village, right? Nowadays, the cost of living is going up. Women are matriculating from college and going in the workforce at a higher rate than men. So, we're usually the ones that take the risk early on because we rather chase the freedom than we would the security of having a paycheck, right? But we really don't become a man when you think about it, Bishop, until we're about 35. That's when
that
we
is
start.
so true. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I would say don't chase your purpose until you had the freedom to do so. Because in the day and age that we live in this Western society, if you don't got resources to provide, then you won't have the freedom to go out and be purposeful and fruitful.
Okay.
Because you always have the stress of paying bills and taking care of and doing this and doing that.
Yeah.
So does that kind of go along with, this whole idea? Because you have a lot of folks now, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to start this business. Everybody wants to just kind of jump out there. And nobody really wants to have that, what I call serve the season time, where, hey, I've got to serve this season, work on this job that I don't like until I can get to the place, to where it is that I want to be. So, are you saying that we've got to learn how to serve our season until we, created that level of freedom to be able to kind of navigate or go after this purpose that we, or dream that we aspire?
Right.
Gotcha.
So my purpose is to serve my community, right? But I can't do that. I can't give, UCC $1 million check to pay off a building and add on to a building without resources. I can't. If you call me on a Monday morning at 8 a.m. and say, hey, I need your help at this community initiative.
Yeah.
And I got stresses of the world on me, then I can't do it unless I have the freedom to be able to do that.
Yeah. Wow. That's so good. Write the check, man. Write the check, bro.
I want to ask you, brother, so how do you get that balance? What do we do to get that balance?
Yeah.
Man, you got to learn the system, man. We live in a system that if you figure it out, you can use it to your advantage.
Right.
The game is just not taught to us.
That's right.
Early enough. And we don't get it early enough because, like you said, we're hyper consumers because the system from the schools. So think about it like this. From the time we're born, we go to daycare, right? So somebody else is programming us. We go to a school system that wasn't created to make you successful. The public school system that we're in today was created by billionaires during the industrial age to make you meet mild and factory workers. Yeah. So and it takes about 12 years to suck the life out of you. So that's the reason why we go to school from 1st grade to 12th grade. So by the time you get out, you're a good order taker and you're conditioned to go into the workforce.
Yeah.
So they control you by being a worker. They control you by paying taxes, and they control you by ensuring that you are a consumer. And in today's day and age, most people grow up trying to live this American dream, right?
Right.
All of that is debt. Yeah. The house costs money, the car costs money, the kids cost money, college, credit cards. Before you know it, you're drowning in debt, and you can't do anything but try to work and work and work to pay it off.
Yeah.
And that's the way most of us live. But there are other ways to beat the system. We just aren't trained to do that. And because we're not used to having anything, when we do get something, we want to feel like we got it. And that's the reason why we buy the things that we buy and we do the things that we do instead of being disciplined enough to make
That's
to
what I was
watch
trying
them.
to say. Yeah. I really believe that we've got to have that discipline, for where it is that we're going. Like we've got to be able to instill that even in our kids at a young age. And for those of us that are older, I think it's just more challenging, but it's something that we've got to train ourselves to do, is to be more disciplined, and maybe to live more minimalistic, to where we can focus on, saving, investing, building up, so that we're not just, I call it eating our seeds, eating our investment opportunities. And so we stay in this cycle until we break the cycle, so I really believe that. I'm glad that you said that word discipline. I think that that's going to be the key, is really becoming more disciplined and not being led by or what we see, or this false sense of success. Everybody wants to pretend to be something, that maybe we're not just yet,
Yeah.
What are y'all thoughts? Come on, add to that.
And I think that, with the age that we're living in now, when you talk about that false sense of success, man, we're living in an age now where, you have to really question what's real and what's fake.
Yeah.
You have to really question what's true. Most people are just gonna put their best foot forward. People, when you look on social media, people are only going to put the best about themselves, and that right there in itself creates a mindset that people don't really deal with real things. That people don't really have real struggles in life. That people don't really have real things that they're overcoming. And when we live like that, we're living in a lie, and we're living apart from who we truly are. I think about some of the influencers on social media, and I look at how people raise them up on this pedestal and raise them up and put them high on this pedestal. And the moment that they show a human fault, a human emotion, a human mistake, boom, they're torn down. Right? They're torn down. And so that shows us, man, that we shouldn't be chasing after these things of notoriety and being seen and being known, but we should be chasing after true relationships. We should be pursuing true partnerships with each other, and not really putting out what we think people want to see from us. It's time for us to really, as a community, as men, to really come together and really be real with each other, and really talk about the real things that we're going through, because we live in a society where we don't know what's real sometimes, and we don't know what's fake. We look at those videos, man, those AI videos, and they can make LeBron James say whatever he wants to say out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? And get on there. But that's just the times that we're living in, not knowing real from fake, man. And it's really causing us to live outside of who God really called us to be, because we're not really engaging in real relationship at this point.
So when you talk about relationship, what are some things that we can do really to develop authentic relationships?
Talk.
Yeah.
Talk. I think that's man's biggest issue, man, is that, Bishop, you teach us all the time that men die silently. Men suffer silently, and it's because we've been so programmed and so so fashioned to suck up our emotion, not show, when we're having a real issue and we're dealing with real life situations, and that we're just supposed to be these superheroes that walk around with these capes and these S's on our chest, and we're just able to overcome everything on our own, and that's not the case. And so men have to talk to each other. Men have to say, because guess what? I'm not the only one going through this. I'm not the only one dealing with this. Every man on this call, every man in the chat has something that we can share when it comes to some of the things that we struggle with. We all struggle with the same things. It's
Yeah.
just the enemy trying to keep our mouths closed so that we can't see the victory in our lives.
Yeah.
I think we definitely want to always try to play the hard role. You know, when we can truly gain more by opening up to each other, learning more from each other. It's like brother said, you know, we want to front. We always want to front like everything is just perfect, you know, because that's what society teaches us, shows us to be hard, you know. But hey, look, we're human, you know. We have to open up and show those sides. We can't keep that stuff bottled in, because that brother that's sitting right next to you could be just the one to have the word for you when you just open your mouth, take a second and initiate it. Be intentional about opening up with relationships with your brothers, you know, with godly men, you know.
Yeah.
Those are the people who are going to carry you, you know, who are going to be right there with you, you know, and just go through it with you. So we definitely have to open up our mouth and communicate with each other.
That's so good. So good. Anybody else want to add to it, Daryl?
Yes, sir, Bishop. I think two things. Building relationships. I think it takes time. I think one of the things I did after the pandemic happened was start these monthly Black male meetups. And when I first got started, only one brother showed up, and I instantly got discouraged. But continue to do it on a month-to-month basis, and get about 15, 20 guys out and you just grab breakfast and talk about everything from life goals to family, etc. I think you got to put yourself out there, because brothers are not used to us just getting together and collectively being around each other. I think too, just being in a good church home and being under a good covering. Because I think small groups and so many things we do with just brothers being able to get together and have those commonalities and bonds. And just the last thing, don't want to get too off topic, talking about the purpose piece. I think a lot of brothers, like Gilberto mentioned, like Derek mentioned, like we try to find purpose in money or cars or clothes or chasing the bag or whatever it is. I think a lot of times you got to sit down and really be intentional with God and say, hey, where's my purpose? And sometimes your purpose really lies in your pain. Like talk about being cycle breakers. And a lot of times I ask God, like, what is my purpose? And it's to be better than the men that were before me. Not saying that my granddad wasn't good, but dad went to prison, my brother went to prison. I had to figure out, like, what's that for me? How do I find that? Mistrust of men, you know, not having a strong male role model in my life. I chose to be those type of people, right?
Yeah.
And that because of the fact that I was able to bless other young brothers and be a mentor or be a father figure or older brother figure at bare minimum, because of the fact that I looked at, hey, my purpose is just trying my best to not be another statistic, not trying to be another issue, trying my best to be a consistent stay in the community and show some different things. So I think a lot of times you have to search for your purpose. Number one, ask God, but also too, sometimes your purpose just lie and you defeating the demons that maybe past generation weren't able to fix. And then you get some families, some healthy households from there. So a lot of times you just have to just do a deep dive of where your purpose is at and journal that thing and try your best to tackle it every day if you can.
That's so good, man. That's so good. I think that you open another discussion when you talk about purpose and pain, and how pain leaves clues to purpose. What do you guys would you say, if you're, you know, okay with sharing, is your greatest pain story that you've overcome or that you're overcoming, navigating your purpose?
So for me, you know, I wasn't born in this country. I was born in another country, came over here really young. So, you know, when you're a kid, life is good as long as you're getting what you want. You get to go outside and play. You get to do all the things that kids do. But life got real for me when I moved to Alabama and I wanted to, you know, play sports and get a driver's license. And they started asking me for something called my social security number. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. So I go home and ask them about it. And they're like, oh, by the way, you don't have one. So, you know, it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I was legally documented in this country. So I felt like, you know, a failure for a long time because I couldn't even do the simple things that the average person could do. You know, every time I stepped outside, I was taking a chance to be detained and, you know, to even be deported because I wasn't documented in this country. So, you know, just think about it. You know, your friends and your family, they went off and, you know, they did everything that they could. You know, getting cars and legally working and, you know, going to college and doing the things that the average person could do, right?
Yeah.
But I can look at it as a pain, but that really built me up into who I was because it allowed me to appreciate what I have now more than ever. Because I remember not even being able to go and get an ID. You know, I
Wow.
I couldn't go to the bank and get a bank account. You know, I couldn't do anything besides just exist. So, you know, that was a painful time, and you know, I had to go through it by myself. You know,
Wow.
as early as possible, and you know, it made me really angry for a long time. Like, why me? But you know, going back to the previous question, it wasn't until, you know, I found God and I worked on a relationship with myself, um, that that things started turning around. You know,
Yeah.
taking care of my taking care of the three hearts. You know, you got three hearts in your body, right? Your mind, your heart, and your stomach. If you feed those three things the right things, you know, things would start turning around.
That's good.
That's so good, man. So good.
That's good.
I think with me, one of the things that I've had to really work on overcoming is not having a voice. I grew up in a family of five of kids, and I was number four. So I wasn't the oldest, I wasn't the youngest, I wasn't the first boy, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I just felt like, you know, I wasn't heard in my home and things like that. But you know, the more I grew and understood, you know, what God says about me. You know, God, I've been able to overcome those feelings, and it's just been until recently that actually been able to confront, you know, on the things that I've been dealing with, because you know I ran from them for so long and kind of like put it off and denied it. You know how you psych yourself out of something. No, that's not true. You know, you just being extra, or you know, those types of things, those types of feelings. But you know, I had to really come to grips about, you know, what I was feeling was real.
Mm.
And it was a real and genuine feeling that I had, and you know, God has really been walking with me through that whole process, and letting me know, like, yeah, you got a voice, you know, you're seen, you're not overlooked, but you're seen, and I see you, and he's been there with me every step of the way, and he's put me in great community with guys who allow me to speak and to use my voice and use my pain to really push purpose in other men.
Wow. That's so good. Wow. So good.
I think I'll go. I think my biggest pain was, as Bishop said, I serve in a community with the fire department here in Alabaster, and I've been with the department 20 years now, and really enjoyed it. It was absolutely a God thing. I wasn't a person that said growing up that I wanted to ever be in the fire service or serve at that capacity. I do believe that a part of all of our purposes is to serve others, but you know, we just have to figure out where that line is, and also finding out what we're passionate about, knowing what we're passionate about. But once I got in the fire service, I quickly learned just the color of your skin. It runs deep, and it runs deep for the majority of the people you serve. You know, I figured out that I saw that as long as I was in uniform, I was considered safe, if that makes sense.
Wow. Yep. Wow.
So,
Yeah.
I had a couple earlier in my career, we would run calls, and I mean, you're welcome with open arms, you know, and because you have on a uniform, you have on these things that tell them you're a good person. They can commute. You can have a conversation with people for 20, 30 minutes on a call or on a scene, and then as soon as I would take that uniform off,
Yep.
and see someone in public, it's a totally different story.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that was a huge adjustment for me, and just something that feeling that I needed to be accepted by these people. Like, wait a minute, I was just serving you. I was just in your home. I was just, you know, showing you empathy, you know, taking care of, just doing everything I can, you know, to treat and help you.
Yeah.
And now I'm just one of them.
Yeah.
I think that was a huge disappointment. I can say I was very disappointed in what I received from that, but but God, God just told me to just keep serving.
Yeah.
Keep doing your part. I just continue to do my part, and all the rest will handle itself. And I've been extremely blessed and fortunate. And but that was definitely one of the greatest pains as an adult that I have went through.
Wow, that is so good. Wow, guys, thank you so much for sharing that. That is really, really encouraging. That no matter what you face, you can overcome. And anyone else want to share?
I'll go, Bishop. I think the biggest pain point that I have is just healing the inner child. I think we don't think about that a lot, but like there's a lot of wounds that we have that we don't think about. I talked about it publicly, but a lot of people don't know. Like, did a quick Google search probably about a month ago because one of my friends just messed with me online and looked up and found out my dad passed like a week before. I haven't talked to dude since I was 10, and I saw it, and the waves of emotion that I hid for years began to just start walking up in me, and I found myself reverting back to that child that was hurt originally. And then you think about a lot of times we talk about we have a mistrust of other men, we don't talk to one another, we suffer in silence, and a lot of times even when we're in an argument maybe with our significant other, whatever it may be, a lot of times it's that inner child coming out, and we don't realize that we call it a number of things, anger, immaturity, or whatever, but it's old wounds that we never took time to heal. So I think for me, just my biggest like pain point right now is trying my best to like just heal that inner child and realizing that even as a grown adult, there's still issues that even though we may tuck it and suppress it at the worst time possible, it shows its ugly head, and you got to try to confront it. You can try to hide from it, but you got to confront it and try your best to heal from it. So I think for me, just trying to figure out how to heal the inner child and whatever I'm going through, realizing why I'm reacting a certain way or feel a certain way, even if it's grief or sadness or whatever it might be, why do I feel this way? And you will tie back into something that happened at a younger time. I may have been too young to understand or realize that it impacts me as a grown man right now or adult male right now.
Wow. That's so good, guys. That's so good. And I think that's so powerful that you guys were able to, turn that pain, into power, that pain into purpose, and be able to overcome that. I think that's very, very important because a lot of folks kind of stay in that cycle. That's the unfortunate part is, just choose to kind of lay down. But I think that it's really, really good to see that you can overcome, to see men who have, shown that example that, hey, yeah, I had a rough moment, through each of your testimonies, that those were challenging things that you've shown as examples that we can overcome. And so that's really, really good. Who's the best? Just a little relief just for a moment. Who's the best? Is it Kobe? Is it LeBron? Or is it Jordan? Who is the best? Who is the best? Come on, guys. Who's the best? Come on.
Jordan.
Who to go?
Number 1, Jordan. Number 2, Kobe. Number 3, LeBron.
Come on, Gilbert.
Hey, I go with you all the way on that one. Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
MJ,
man.
I don't know, like people that were just working 9 to 5. Like NBA was so different back in the day. I mean, Kobe had the greatest level of difficulty. If you look at it, no matter who he played against, he had like Steve Nash at like 45. So I'm gonna say Kobe. I didn't get a chance to watch much MJ. I did watch the Last Dance, the documentary, but I'm sorry, I'm just partial. I'm gonna say Kobe.
Listen, man. Listen. LeBron came in the game with the target on his back. From day one, he had to shoulder the load.
From day one with the target.
Because he called himself the king, man. You can't come in.
He come out the gate
talking about you the king. He's been the king, and that's the reason why he gets the hate that he does is because everybody looked at him as like he's supposed to be the king. People don't like success stories that are already pre-made. They want to see your adversity and then
adversity. You
never had no adversity.
That's right.
Yeah. That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Guys, how can we balance the demands of marriage or relationship with your professional aspirations? When both have careers, how can you balance those demands?
I think we're going to yield that one to you, Bishop. I don't know who's on the panel. I'm not married, so I can't answer that one.
Well, even relationship, if you're dating.
I think both people really communicating with each other, expectations, desires, needs, those types of things. Just having an open line of communication with your partner, it goes a long way. And then at the same time, understanding that my career, my goals, my ministry goals don't just have to be something that I do. Look for opportunities to involve, your spouse in the things that you're involved in.
That's
do
good.
things together.
Yeah.
And when you do things together, it kind of lightens that load. It's not always, this is his thing. No, this is our thing. This is our business. We do this business together. No, we do ministry together. No, we talk about our careers and we share our goals and stuff together. So just understanding that it's not just you, but when you're in a relationship, it's two people doing things together.
Absolutely.
That's good. I love that. If you can talk, you can walk. That's my motto. If you can talk, you can walk. For us, just navigating just an extremely busy lifestyle, and being pulled on by so many, that is one of the things that we do is really sit down and just talk about, because for us in the Mixon household, every season is different. I mean, week to week is different. And it's just navigating, hey, this is going to be a little bit more heavy than last week, and what I found is that really helps out tremendously, just communicating vision, casting vision amongst your family or amongst in your relationship is really, really important. And as he said, really involving them in that, I think is really, really important. Those have been really helpful for the both of us, because, man, I'm going to tell you, we bumped heads. We bumped heads in the beginning. We bumped heads. Man, it was rough. One time we didn't know we were going to make it, and just realize that we had to set egos, set pride aside, and really just sit down and do the thing that, watch this, maybe we weren't shown growing up, that we didn't see our parents do. We had to navigate or pioneer something new. And so maybe you're out there watching that tonight, and you're that person that's having to pioneer a new way. And you're going to be that marriage that's successful. You're going to be that marriage that, is able to overcome divorce or whatever challenges. You can do it. If you can talk, you can walk. That's
right. I think I want to add, I think we definitely have to be intentional. It's one of those things that, a lot of people bark on or talk about love and relationships. But when you first met your spouse, or your girlfriend or partner, you didn't love them initially. You liked them.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that we have to remember. Hey, it's important to love, but you need to like each other. And you need to continue to do what you did in the beginning when you like each other in the beginning. So that's what keeps you. That's what keeps that flame going. Hey, look, go on dates, take her out.
Yeah.
Anything. It ain't no such thing as, man, I got you now. I don't need to do it.
Come on, man.
We have to be intentional with those things. Like Pastor Derek said, we have to communicate. Communicate is super important. We're different. God made us different. And we're not going to understand everything that comes out of each other's mouth. Sometimes we just got to trust God, keep God first in the beginning, but we have to trust him that, everything will work out. It's going to work out in the end, but we have to be intentional to stay on the same page with each other through thick and thin. Hey, I say that, we never want to go to bed mad at each other. I mean, sometimes it's like Pastor Bishop Mixon was saying, hey, look, there were certain times that hey, I want to go sleep out in the truck or something, you know, just like, you know what I mean? Just to clear the air, you know, I mean, you know, because sometimes you just need that little space, you know, like, hey, look, I know I really love this woman. I know she is God sent, but I don't get it right now. Right this moment, I can't, but you can't let one moment ruin a lifetime.
Man, come on.
So you just take a break, you know, think about it. We have to, you know, we have to respond instead of reacting, you know.
It's good.
You know, we need to just sit and take time and think about things, you know, and then give a response to it instead of just as soon as something comes out that we don't necessarily agree with or reacting to it, you know. So
good.
There's a lot of things that we have to do. We have to do to keep that marriage, you know, sacred, keep the covenant, and keep God first. Just, you know, we just have to keep that flame, keep them involved, keep each other involved with it, you know.
It's good. That's so good, man. So good.
I know one thing that my wife and I do, and this is something practical that many people can apply. Is that on Sundays we have a meeting, and whether if I'm at work, it may just be some text messages, or if I'm home, you know, we sit down or we may go out on a date and sit down and talk, and we just talk about, you know, what's coming up this week, what's on my plate this week, what's on your plate this week, how are we relationally. How do you feel about me? You know what I'm saying? What did I do to tick you off this week? What did you do to tick me off?
Are you sure you want to ask that question? No, what I do? You sure? Because you gonna remember from 10 years back. No, just
That's good.
So yeah, we do that. We do that type of thing, and that's how we keep our lines of communication open.
That's good. That's good. So men, married men, single men, what do you do to fight temptation? Fighting temptations. What do you do when you're trying to be focused, you know, on your purpose, your career, you know, on winning, you know, on making a difference? What are some of the things that you do to fight temptations?
I think it's just discipline. I think it really boils down to discipline. Being on your grown man, you know, just knowing that it's not worth it. You know, it's just not worth it. It's this discipline is just staying focused. We work too hard. Me personally, I'm going to step up and say I work too hard to have the family I have, the lifestyle that God has provided for us, to mess it up over something simple. It's super. Once you get past that, once you get that, it's simple. You know, it's just a mind thing. You know, and you know, they say they don't want to come after you until they think you got something good. You know, so you know what I mean. When you have people chasing after you and they know what you have, that should tell you already that it's not worth it.
Be a red flag, right?
It could be a red flag in the beginning. So, you know, it's simple. It's very simple. Just stay focused. Just stay focused and and stay on your mission. You got a plan.
Daryl.
Yeah. So
jump in here.
You know, temptations don't just come in the form of, you know, other women. I mean, you know, in my line of work, you know, business goes on all day long, and oftentimes that leads to bars, and you know, I got health goals, and I have certain goals that I have to meet. So what I've been learning to do is I pause and I ask myself, if I do this, then what happens? You know. Yeah. And then a rule of thumb in finance, which I apply to life as well, is that, you know, if you feel like you want to do something and you know it's an impulse, wait 24 hours. If you still want to do it, then you're away from it, and you probably ain't going to take the time to do it. Don't just do it at the spur of the moment.
Right. Yeah. Think it through. That's so good. That's so good.
Absolutely.
It's tough. I think every man knows where their temptation, their pain point lies. So I think if it's social media and, you know, somebody flying your DM or you flying in there, you know, that's something that you don't need to have. Delete the app immediately. Get your phone down. That's a practical tip. I think too, we talked about it earlier. I think it's a scientific fact. Like when you look at raggedness, you see people. It's a scientific fact. When you're in a committed relationship, that's when people come out the woodwork and be like, "I always have my eyes on you," or something crazy. The grass ain't green on the other side. Like whatever you got going on, like stick with what you have. Because at the end of the day, that person riding for you, they making sure they're taking care of themselves and also trying to make sure that you got your best foot forward. And I just speaking probably as I don't want to make no guarantee, but I'm probably the youngest brother on here. To all my young brothers, ain't nothing out here. So if you got you a good woman in 2024, go ahead tomorrow. Let's run to the courthouse tomorrow. I get at bars and clubs on the weekends. I tell you, ain't nothing out here. Don't be out here. Find your good woman, settle down.
Get out these streets, huh?
Get out these streets.
Go commit. That's good. That's good. Well, fellas, man, we are not out of message, not out of convo, but we are out of time. We want to respect you guys' time and definitely have put some good stuff out here tonight that everyone has enjoyed and can get a chance to go back and comb through, grab some nuggets that will certainly be a blessing and add value to their lives. So I just want to thank you personally for coming on tonight. Each one of you have, said some really, really powerful things, giving us some wisdom, some practical nuggets that we can all use to overcome in life. Whether that's slaying our giants, whether that's confronting our pain, loving our women in a healthy way. And finding other men, mentors, coaches that we can partner with. I think that this has been really, really good. Elder Derek, I want to give everybody an opportunity just to give one final nugget, and then we'll give some announcements and close it out. We'll start with you, Gilberto.
Yeah, I would say if you look at the way the Western society is set up, men are under attack. We must stick together and we must come together because we are the only ones that can save our community. Yeah. That's so good. So good. Yeah.
And I would say, men, don't be afraid to do the hard thing. So many times that we run from, responsibility because it's difficult. But, facing the hard thing, it causes us to grow. It causes those people that we lead to grow as well. So don't be afraid to do the hard thing. Yeah,
that's so good. So good. Yeah.
I will stick with everyone. Just remember, all the other brothers are not your competition. We need to love on each other. We need to support each other. There's so many times that we're so busy thinking that we're in competition with another guy. When the only thing we need to do is just focus on what we do to help others, take care of our family, and let's grow together. We'll get a lot farther. We'll get a lot farther that way.
Yeah.
Take care of each other.
Take care of each other. So good. So good, man. Wow. Daryl.
I keep it simple. I heard my mentor say one time, the most militant thing you can do is build a strong household. So I would just say to all my brothers, like, the journey is going to be hard, like you said, but do your best, get your credit together, get your life together, get some therapy, find a way to get you to, even you're in a single season, find your way to get yourself the best way possible. So when God does bless you with your wife and with your family, you're the most whole you can possibly be. So just try your best every single day to get the best you can be. And not saying you're going to have some stumbles, you're going to have some falls, you're going to have some bad days, but if you can get your household together, get your life together and align yourself with God and a godly church and godly household, everything else will work itself out eventually.
That's right.
That's so good. So good. I love that. Build the who before the do. Build the who before the do. Deal with the who. I love that, man. That's awesome. Listen, guys. Hey, the conversation continues next week, next Saturday. We are at 111 Edmondson Lane in Alabaster, Alabama. Love for you guys to come out and join us at We're the Ones Men's Conference, Overcoming Career, Marriage, Finances, Health, Education, and Family. Starts at 9:15. It starts at 10 o'clock a.m. There's a men's panel, men's youth group discussion, fun day on the yard. Got some games, some competition, food. Man, it's going to be lit. It's going to be incredible, guys. So come on out. And then we close things out on Sunday. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So grab a brother, bring a brother with you. As Jamada said, we're not in competition. We're here to build each other. And we're building community. And so grab a brother, come on out. It's going to be a great time. Grab a son. We've got some anointed and some awesome coaches that are going to be talking with them. Mike, and he's going to, I can't think of his last name.
Sadly.
Mike Sadler is going to be with us. He's a young up and coming pastor and coach, AAU coach, school teacher, man. This guy's doing some great work with the UAB championship team. So we're really, really excited about just all that we've got in store. So come on out next Saturday. It's going to be absolutely amazing. All right, Derek, any final words, man, before we close out?
Man, I'm just excited, man. And I'm so appreciative of you guys taking your time out tonight. To really come in and share your heart, share your wisdom, share your specialized knowledge with us. It's not unseen. We see you. And big shout out to the guys in the chat for hanging out with us for the last hour. Man, they've been very supportive, man. So I give them a round of applause in the chat.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys.
We salute all you men. Yeah.
So I'm just looking forward to it, man. Excited about it. And, let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah. Well, listen, registration is still open. There are already about 50 men registered so far. So y'all keep on coming in. It's not just for UCC Nation. We want everybody to lock in. It's going to be a great weekend. All right, guys. Well, let me just say a quick prayer. Father, my God, thank you for this time. Thank you for these great men. Thank you for these leaders in the communities. Father, we just thank you, Lord, for the power to overcome. Thank you that we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. Whatever the issue is, whatever the challenge, I thank you, God, that we are bold, we're brave, we're courageous men, we're courageous leaders. And Father, we just give you all the praise, the glory, and the honor in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 All right, guys.
What's the cutoff, Bishop? How many people? What's the maximum registration?
Maximum registration is 200.
All right, so we need everybody that's on our timeline. We need you guys to be in the building and register. There's not many places you're going to be able to get everything he just named at no cost to you, and we get a word of God. You can be one conversation away from changing your compensation at UCC. So
come on, man. What? Yes.
I had to put my marketing hat on. I couldn't just let So, please, if you watching this, do me a favor. If you watch this and you register, screenshot it, and I might have a freebie for you.
Come on, let's go.
Okay. All right,
let's go.
Yes, sir. I like that.
Let's go. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.